Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to the Hayseed Night and Sep's Diary, where we have, I think, like one current more in the morning after that we need to explore. So we'll begin with that. So, we need to go to what was Rao all happy about?
Sep, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace, but I think that's the sun coming up your window.
I'm
You
going
sure you
to
don't wanna go
jump
grab
off
some
a
scissors?
cliff.
So I tell him halfway from nowhere. Okay, gotcha. But in what direction? And the caravan driver looks me
just
up and
want
down with
to
a weird
forget.
face, shakes his head, and says, Dunstan!
I thought you'd be hiding something, but no matter how much I try to drive you away,
And don't leave me.
you keep proving me wrong.
Sep? Sep, sweetie, are you in there? Could you open the window for me? No? That's okay. Don't worry, you don't need to say anything. I know how... No, I don't. I'm not immortal. I can't imagine how hard this must be for you. All I can say is that I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there when it happened. I failed you, as much as I failed Thar. You don't believe what Yoff said, right? It was nothing personal. All the evidence pointed to a guy. I had to arrest him, and I think... Look, Sep, I don't want this to sound like I'm putting the blame on you in any way, but I have reasons to believe he might have...
He found out.
I see. That's... I don't know what to say. Sep, after all that's happened, I don't think it'd be wise for me to spend any more time around your family. I'm afraid I'm not welcome here anymore. So, we have to say our goodbye for now, little pumpkin. Curses don't have any effect on an old tree like me, so know that wherever you go and whatever you do, I'll be cheering you on from afar. You have a friend in me always, Sep. A loyal ally for the Jasif.
Sep's ears perked up upon hearing that name. She'd read it over and over. She'd heard it in countless stories from her mother. But by the time she mustered the courage needed to open that window, Illigrab was gone. I am Jasif. Oh, missing memories. Okay. Well, let's move on to... Oh, we got farewell here. Let's check it out. Illigrab came home today. I didn't want to see him. He didn't need to say he was leaving forever. He should have just left like everyone else. But he called me Jasif. I think he really wanted me to hear that.
Sep? Sep, sweetie, are you in there? Could you open the window for me?
So, we saw this already. And now we have I am Jasif here. And we still have that memory missing. Okay. A thrilling escape. Dear Diary, I can hardly believe I still have the ability to write after the events that transpired last night. I jumped off a bridge, and yes, I mean that in the most literal, least self-harming way possible. The specifics elude me now that the rush has begun to wear off, but I recall 3 decisive factors. I had Adder's scarf, some wine in my head, and an excess of bad intentions. When my attempts to dismiss him proved fruitless, I thought I would remind him of his cowardice yesterday to embarrass him into going away. But instead, I had a rather droll idea. I decided to test his courage by goading him into chasing me, running into the royal pathway with his scarf in tow. Oh, there's more. It had a much greater effect than I anticipated. He was soon pursuing me through the bridge without a trace of hesitation, screaming like the stupid idiot he is. Needless to say, half a dozen guards followed suit. We ran together for as long as my legs could bear it, and once I couldn't run anymore, he lifted me in his arms and led us to a dead end. No, I do not know why I expected anything else. The guards surrounded us, drew their spears, and began walking closer and closer, like a wall of spikes. I thought this was surely our end, and I would have to haggle for my life once more, but ask me as you may, I cannot even begin to fathom what exactly went through Adder's mind as he watched the guards approach us. Nothing, most likely. Facing the prospect of letting himself, or me perhaps, get caught, Adder threw all sense to the wind and jumped off the railings 5 stories down into a nearby awning. And yet, I am still writing. We survived. We kissed. We laughed. We celebrated. And I have to confess that I had not felt anything quite as exhilarating in never before. Adder seems to have quite the talent for clinging to his life, while showing a worrying disregard for it at the same time, and I want to be there to watch all the foolish things he does. Does it sound like I want to see him again? My, what a distressing thought. P.S. Those hands. Gods. Oh yeah, we've seen this bridge before. I think the I'm keeping this one thing doesn't lead anywhere, right? Let's check it anyway, just in case.
I'm so dead. I'm so dead.
It's not that stupid,
right.
Is it?
I lived a good life. Now I can say bye.
What was this about? Zeb came to little by little, feeling tremendously disoriented with every passing second. Oh. Is this where they are at the beach? Yes, they're at the beach. And then we can't pursue this because there's a memory missing. Okay. What about the other one? The
I'm so
you
dead.
don't know,
I'm
Knights.
so dead.
Does he have a death wish?
You sure you're all right?
Ooh, I think we couldn't pursue this one before because memories were missing, but now we can.
I told you! The wine went to my head, nothing else. I'm fine now.
For real? I don't mind spending another night making you company if you need it. Just ditch the ropes this time.
I think we've seen this scene before, though. I'm sorry. Okay, so this isn't going anywhere. What about the other one? The one that wasn't the Death Wish one? Let's check that out as well. So I'm keeping this one. You don't know
I'm
knights?
so dead.
And if only you knew. Okay, so this is the one where Sir Askeda's hair was all words and no action, I think. Oh, Elbar. Yeah, okay, so the I'm keeping him line isn't going anywhere. What about the other one? He'll serve me well. Is there anything new
Sip,
here?
So, I've been thinking real hard about that thing I said about being responsible and whatnot, so I think I'm ready to take this step.
Oh, this is the proposal one. Imagine Ralph's face. Okay, so this isn't going anywhere either. A promising new ally. Dear Diary, there truly is no rest for the wicked. Today was my first time accompanying Sir Askedas as a hired escort. Though, as Ral made sure to remark over and over, we were simply meant to get acquainted with each other at this point. In her words, move your lips, not your hips. I briefly considered dressing Elbar down to his antlers behind a gazebo just to spite her, but I soon found he was, true to his word, extremely uninterested in my proximity. I was sincerely surprised. I never would have taken such a massive and boisterous stag for the aloof type. Am I really expected to put some effort into seducing him? Perish the thought. I am positive that he will fall for my natural charm sooner or later. I am not lacking in lovers to confer with, if he so wishes to keep me waiting. So, as Ral would have it, I spent a long evening listening to my new patron talk and then talk some more, for Sir Askedas seems to forget that a conversation is composed of two people, not a succession of monologues. Once he managed to shut his snout for a whole minute, however, I found out that he was just as keen on listening to my woes as he was to talking about his. My woes about Ral specifically. He's made his own ideas about her in his mind, and who am I to refute them? If he wants to rescue me and build me a kingdom, let him. Noble deer certainly are something else. They belong in their own tier of stupidity. Well, regardless, it is reassuring to know that he and I will get along much better than expected. I can safely say that I am a little excited to see how long it takes him to crack under pressure. P.S. He tried to give me a tip for my company. A tip? Who does he take me for? A barmaid moonlighting as a harlot? I am not thankless enough to refuse his gifts, of course. I simply pointed out that a queen has no need for money, and I'd much rather partake in presents that cannot be acquired with it. So he promised he would bring some more wine. Is this what they call incitement? Oh, okay. We've seen this scene before. Let's see if we can now get something. Out of these currents. I can work with this.
Sap, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace, but I think that's the sun coming up your window. You sure you don't want to go grab some scissors?
I think we've already tried both of these. I think this is one that had like a lot of branching off on these currents. Did we have anything here that we couldn't access before? I'm going to push him off a cliff. Let's just take a look. Ugh. Sorry. I can work with this.
Sap, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace, but I think...
I'm too soft on him.
And then Illigrad grabbed me by the neck and I heard this loud friggin' crack. And suddenly, I could do this.
Ah, we've seen this before. Will you trust me back? Okay. So the I'm being too soft on him doesn't lead anywhere. Let's check the Ral doesn't need to know. I can work with this.
Sap, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your
Push
grace,
him
but
off
I
a
think...
cliff. Ral doesn't need to know.
You sure you're all right?
This is one that we've seen as well. And then this isn't going anywhere. Yeah, okay. So, let's check out the jump off a cliff. Branch of this. So I can work with this.
Sap, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace, but I think... So I tell him halfway from nowhere. Okay, gotcha. But in what direction? And the caravan driver looks me up and down with a weird face, shakes his head, and says,
away.
You look distant today, babe. Is something the matter?
This we've also seen before. Am I allowed to want? Okay, missing memories again. What about the other one? Has something opened up there? So, I can work with this.
Sap, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace,
jump
but
off
I
a
think
cliff?
that's the sun coming up your window. So I tell him halfway from nowhere. Okay,
Just
gotcha.
get me
But in
away.
what
You look distant today, babe. Is something the matter?
Is it all just an act? The Desert Rose was an exceedingly successful business, usually hidden away in their own little corner of Heartache District. I think this is new. However, they were known for occasionally holding charity events for the good of the city. Brief glimpses of the wonders that the Desert Rose kept locked behind walls, shared with the poor citizens who would never get to see such beauties in their entire lives otherwise. Did I say charity? My bad, I meant promotion. A stage was set in the middle of the bazaar for the dancers, and the expectation was immense even hours before the show started. The plaza was filled to the brim with excited deer, curious does, and a couple of bored gazelles, and a few intrigued ibexes blocking everyone's view with their huge horns. But the owner of this memory wasn't basking in the love of the crowd that secretly sighed for her. No, we'd have to sneak into the dressing room to find her. Not like that.
Joseph, how much longer do you need to get dressed? Miss Rochelle told me to drag you out by the horns if you're not ready by the next dance.
Oh, don't rush me. You know how much the public means to me. My dance has to be so great they will never forget my face or my body. I'm still trying to decide where I want them to look today, so why don't you go and get the embers ready for me? I'll be out in a minute.
Absolutely not! I'm not your errand girl. That's what we have the stagehands for.
Well, someone needs to warn the stagehands that I'm on my way, right? Do you expect me to come out unannounced and stand on the spotlight smiling at the crowd while I wait for the servants to fetch me my torches?
I'm going to be the one to answer in front of Miss Rochelle if you play me a second time.
If I what? Sorry? Play you? Wow, you really have a high opinion of me, don't you? Fine then. I swear by the 3 that I'm going to leave in a minute. There. Did that sound like a lie? No? Then go, before I tell Miss Rochelle that you've been delaying me.
Seb gave her the fakest smile she could make until the doe backpedaled away. She was alone at last, free to focus on her plan. A plan that had taken weeks of preparation, cavillation and study, merely to find a suitable chance to carry it out, but the day had finally arrived. And now the moment came too.
Rivets! Rivets! Buy your rivets here!
A jingling orange blur dashed out of the tent before the other dancer had a chance to react.
Wait, Joseph! Where are you going? The stage is this... Oh, not again.
Rivets for your shields! Rivets for your pants! Make your life more riveting! Slicker than boiled onion, aren't I? Ain't no way she's gonna find me like...
Adder!
That's my... Whoa! Hi. Hey, you called, ma'am?
Gods! Do you know how long you've had me waiting? How can a gangly, one-eyed yellow deer be this hard to find?
I'm sorry, ma'am. If I'd known you were looking for me, I would have hollered a little louder. You, need some good old riveting. Some good old rivets, I mean.
Very funny, but I don't have time for your jokes right now.
My rivets ain't no joke, ma'am. They're for real cast steel rivets made and smuggled out of my boss's forge. Guaranteed return if... hey, you all right there?
Adder, it's me. Don't you remember me?
Ha! Nice try, Missy, but I know this scam. Next, you'll ask me for the money I borrowed from you 10 years ago, and to that I say,
Seb collapsed to the ground. Her mind was screaming in anger. It wasn't directed at Adder, no. It was directed at herself for letting something so stupid bring tears to her eyes.
Whoa, don't, it's all right. I don't know what's wrong, but there ain't nothing a rivet can't. What do you think you're looking at, huh? It's just a barhorn lady for crying out loud. Keep going, yeah, move along, nothing to see here. You mind if we take this somewhere a little bit quieter, ma'am? Come on, you can scam me all you want once we get away from these creeps.
Adder would have never dared to pat a lady he'd just met reassuringly, so he instead used his arms as sunshades to protect her from gossipers and oglers alike. The ruckus of the bazaar became a mere whisper as they dived deeper into the maze of streets that surrounded the plaza.
Ugh, can't believe I let myself do something so undignified.
Nothing wrong with leaving your dignity home every once in a while, ma'am. My ma used to tell me that crying makes your eyes prettier, and yours are a force to reckon with. Not that I'm saying you're a crybaby, you just, you got some nice eyes there.
Eyes! Of course! You're a gaze reader!
Whoa, hold up there! How'd you know that? Did you read my mind? You a gaze-reading scammer?
Of course not! I was the one who taught you that concept. Come here and see it for yourself.
Keep those hands where I can see them, ma'am. You ain't teach me nothing. A fortune-telling Zell I met moons ago in a fair did. She told you, didn't she? You're a Zell, too. You gotta know her.
You can slap him later, you can slap him later, you can slap him later, you can slap him later. Well, I can't know that if you don't specify a little. So tell me about the gazelle. How did she look? She was gorgeous, wasn't she? Did she have any outstanding attributes besides literally everything else?
Well, it ain't like I like to creep on Zells or anything, but if it'll help you recognize her, I reckon she got a real big... Huh? Big horns? Big tail? No, that ain't right. She looked like a gazelle? What the... Wowee, ma'am. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I can't remember her looks at all now that I think about it. I don't know. Maybe I just fell for her big personality?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, that don't sound like me at all. Well, darn, all right. If you're trying to tell me she's you, just gorgeous don't cut it. You're so pretty you'd make a buck plow through a wall. But that just don't make any sense. Ain't no way I could forget someone like you.
You could, if it was something beyond your control. I suppose I shouldn't have kept this a secret from you in the first place. Tell me, Adder, do you believe in curses?
Yeah, nah, a little bit. I mean, my patrons always curse me and nothing much has happened yet. Why? You gonna cast a Barhan curse on me if I don't pay up? Don't bother with the evil eye. I already got one of those.
I'm the one who's cursed, you prejudiced idiot. Well, not me, per se. That is, I wasn't cursed personally. It's more like that. How am I even supposed to explain this to someone like you?
Zeb began walking in circles, practicing her dance moves as she tried to come up with a way to explain a high-level magic concept to a boy as simple-minded as Addersind, son of Gerfaz.
All curses work under the same principle, an alteration in your connection to the Hatsa. In normal circumstances, the river would erode your soul when you died and lend it to your next life. But a curse can shake the current, block it, or worse yet, separate you completely from it.
We talking Oblivion here?
Zeb nodded gravely.
Barhan legends say that Omagupseb, the last ruler of Bazaksarat, was cursed by Hirub himself for bringing misery to all gazelles. They say he begged the sun for a way to avoid disappearing completely from history, and it must have worked. I wouldn't be here otherwise. Both his methods and the exact clauses of the curse have been lost to time, but the consequences persist. I am an eternal novelty, a gazelle like no one's ever seen before, as history keeps finding contrived ways to erase me from the thoughts of those that meet me.
Well, it don't gotta try too hard with me, ma'am. My brain's got more than its share trying to keep this lanky mess of a body up on its feet. See these hands? I used to be all big and strong, but then I go to bed hungry one night, and another, and I keep starving till I'm 2 meals short of turning into...
A walking pile of bones! I know that, you idiot! I knew that you would forget me, but I wanted to think that you looked so weird that you'd have to be special, that there had to be something different about you. But in the end, you're just a normal deer. I haven't given you permission to forget me, damn it! I wasn't ready to let go of you! You idiot! You miserable excuse for a gaze reader! You liar! You fool! You absolute dumbass! Remember me! I beg you!
Ma'am, I just want to say that this has got to be the finest scam I've ever seen in my life. Great story, great acting, and using mind reading to find out all those details beforehand was a great touch. Mr. Bard would have clapped if he'd seen you.
For the last time, it's not a goddamned...
Right. Don't break character. Good job. You accept donations on rivets?
Joseph! Joseph, where are you? Why do you always do this to me? Do I look like your nanny or something?
Joseph? Ain't that something like Queen and...
Seb grabbed Adder's face and pulled it towards hers. In the darkness of the alley, he saw her eyes glowing a mysterious blue.
Come to the beach tonight when the lights are all out. Understood? I swear by Hirub that I will tell all your friends that you're a horn eater if you don't show up.
The beach?
Your favorite place in all of Heirloom. This is my vote of confidence. I'm trusting you.
I'll see you soon. Oh, okay, so that's as far as that goes. I don't think there were any other currents in the I can work with this branch, right? So I can't reclaim what I want. Let's see if there's anything new here. Oh, we're back into this nightmare. Mom, help! So, no, nothing new there. Okay. Tangled up. Dear Diary, it seems that I was not the only one who found the bridge incident thrilling, to put it mildly. Leaps into the unknown come in handfuls for that boy. I am happy to announce that through my wise guidance, Adder proves once and again to be an eager lover and an avid learner. He is as obedient as he is clueless, and he does not seem to mind when I chide him, opting instead to take cues from me and improve. If only my dear overachiever was half as apt at reading gazes. Well, I would not have excuses to keep him around then anymore, would I? Though I doubt that would stop him from begging under my window like the thirsty briar that he is. Now, any time I have to meet with Elbar and bear his senseless rambling and the coldness of his presence, I find my mind wandering towards Adder. I fear he truly is growing on me. Diary, in more ways than one. Never mind the last entry. Adder isn't growing on me. I am growing tired of him. Do you think he was born this goddamned sodding stupid, or was it running through walls that did it? Did he lose the ability to shut his enormous snout at some point in his life? Or is that impressive talent for sticking his foot well into his throat something innate? I swear by Hirub that my next lover shall be mute. Ral has been pestering me all day, trying to make small talk with me. I'm not sure what she's hoping to achieve. If she thinks that I need to be consoled for having one of my playthings thrown away, she's sorely mistaken. But we accidentally found some common ground somewhere completely different. Ral, I'm no one to judge. I'm just saying it's time you accept that you absolutely have a bizarre taste in men. Me, you should see my taste in women then. Ral, oh, I'm flattered, darling. I really am, but you're a little too young for me. Me. What? No, that is not where this conversation was going. Ral, I'm so glad we have something in common at last. Ral dropped by while I was polishing my horns today to interrogate me as she usually does. I wasn't sure what she was trying to find out at first, but we kept jumping topics and somehow ended up talking about the differences between sleeping with horns and without them. I mean, I don't know. I've had my horns for the better part of a decade, so I don't precisely remember what sleeping without them feels like. They don't bother me much because I sleep on my side, so I just need to rest my head on a cushion to make some space for their curve, and that's it. Which somehow derailed further into her asking how do I make space for my company in bed then. I could finally see where she was going with all of this, so I cheekily replied that I prefer being the little spoon for the added thrill of accidentally poking someone's eye out. Not my finest choice of words, given the situation. I have to admit that I became oddly, wistful remembering the face of that one-eyed dumbass. If Ral noticed this time, she had the decency not to comment on it. I think I'm craving some good old-fashioned utter hugs, but it's been 3 days since I last saw him. Do you think he's No, this is Adder we're talking about. He probably just let Ral's little threats get to him. What a nuisance. I guess I shall go fetch him myself.
Sep, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace, but I think that's the sun coming up your window. You sure you don't want to go grab some scissors?
Oh, we're here again. Did we have anything here with the I'm going to push him off a cliff path? Was there anything we couldn't, that we had missing memories? So the I'm too soft on him doesn't go anywhere, right?
And then Illigrad grabbed me by the neck and I heard this loud friggin'
Yeah, that doesn't go anywhere.
Sep, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace, but I think that...
So, Ral doesn't need to know?
You sure you're all right?
And this doesn't go anywhere either. So, let's see the other one.
Sep, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace, but I think that's the sun
I'm
coming
going
up
to
your
jump
window.
off a
You
cliff.
sure you don't want to go grab some scissors? So I tell him halfway from nowhere, okay, gotcha, but in what direction? And the caravan driver looks me up and down
Just
with a weird
take
face,
me away.
shakes his head.
You look distant today, babe. Is something the matter?
Did this go anywhere? Am I allowed to want? Ah, missing memory still. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. I did not mean to do that. That was a total misclick. We've seen this before, though. That's the way out. Zep wouldn't let him inside again, ever. And we're not ready to leave. Yep, accidentally did the leave diary thing. So tangled up. And then we saw that the
Sep, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace, but I think that's the sun coming up your window. You sure you don't want to go grab? So I tell him halfway from nowhere. Okay, got it.
You look distant today, babe. Is something the matter?
This didn't go anywhere because we had a missing memory. Was there something here? So this we've seen in this episode. This was a new thing. See you soon. And yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Was there something in the other?
Sep, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace, but I think that's the sun. So I tell him halfway from nowhere. Okay, gotcha. But in what direction? And the caravan driver looks me up and down with a weird face, shakes his head, and says,
That's the name of the place, you plunker. Halfway from nowhere.
What about here? I just want to forget. Was there something?
I thought you'd be hiding something, but no matter how much I try to drive you away.
Do you really?
You...
So yeah, this is the one where they're at the beach, right? Yeah. My knight. And then there's memory missing. Okay. What about the other one there?
Sep, you see, darling queen, I don't want to hurry your grace, but I think that... So I tell him halfway from nowhere. Okay, gotcha. But in what direction? And the caravan driver looks me...
I thought you'd be hiding something, but no matter
Don't
how
leave
much
me.
I try to drive you away, you...
Sep, sweetie, are you in there? Could you open the window for me?
I am Joseph. Oh, is this the one where she goes to see the gazelles? Or is this a new one? The sun was beginning to set far in the distance. Herub's statue cast a long shadow over the city that no longer paid any heed to one of its great gods. Sep waited under the shade of the black marble statue, eyes glimmering an unnatural blue against the red hues that surrounded her. I think this is a new one. Her horns were still short, but her expression was that of an adult. The fumes coming from the offertories drew bizarre forms in the air, as if inhaled by Herub himself, all under the intense glare of two purple eyes in a sea of white. Purple eyes? Is this about Aina?
Where's your father, Aina?
Aina's ears perked up upon hearing her name. She stood frozen for a couple of seconds, and then dashed off towards the temple, exchanging her presents for the merchants.
Don't waste your breath praying, daughter of Thor. Your mother can't hear you, and a statue can't reply. Well, what did you make me come all the way out here for?
I've come looking for your knowledge, Tespertalk. Illigrib said that you could train me.
Illigrab lied, as usual.
No, he didn't! He said that you too are cursed, that your daughter is as immortal, if not more so, than you are, and that you still dabble in the ancient art of Sephihet, looking for the way to cure her. I want you to do the same for me.
And why would I do that? Aina didn't deserve what happened to her, but that fool Omega Pseb did! He deserved every last second of his punishment for bringing ruin upon all of Barhankind!
Even if that were true, how was any of what he did my fault? What have I done to deserve his fate? Do dare ask about my ancestors before looking down on me? Don't I live by the same unfair rules as the rest of the Barhan and Akazor?
The merchant caressed his beard as he pondered her words.
You are every bit as convincing as the last Jasif was. All right, then. If you really want to become my apprentice, you must forget everything you hold dear. I will take you as my own child and give you whatever name I see fit. You will start anew, free to follow any path you seek.
What? No! I don't want to forget! I can't forget! How will I know what I have to do if you take that from me?
Like you ever knew to begin with! You were just a puppet, the protagonist in someone else's show! And now that your threads are breaking, Illigrab wants me to fix you! But I won't! I told him 1,000 times I don't care about gods and kings anymore! And neither should you. Come now, the temple is huge, and Aina could use the company.
Do you seriously expect me to believe that you will set me free if I let you steal my memories? That you won't use me? Do you think I'm an idiot?
No, I think you're a child.
I am Jasif. I was sired by the sun itself to reign over the world. You are nothing more than a servant to my biddings.
A lonely child is what you are.
I am Jasif, and you will kneel before me!
The merchant's knees wavered under the power of a voice that only barely began to resemble an adult's. The old man could only hold onto his cane to avoid falling on his face as his legs caved in. Zeb stood proudly over the wizard that was, watching with awe, the reach of a power she didn't yet understand. But she couldn't enjoy her victory for long. A low growling sound and 2 purple gleams in the darkness beneath Hirub's statue distracted her for a moment. The last rays of sunlight reflected against 2 rows of pearly daggers, poised to sink into her flesh and bone. The sight froze Zeb's blood long enough for the merchant to recover his composure and lunge towards her, swinging his cane like a madman.
How dare you talk to your eldest like that, you spoiled rapscallion!
Pertok's voice was so powerful that Zeb collapsed to her knees, but she wasn't his target. Behind him, a shadow seemed to dissolve into the ground, whacked away with the long end of the cane.
What was that? How did you...
Like I never tell you! Damn, kids. It's always the same. You think that you're better than the rest just because you're a little talented. Practice! Practice is the secret to every skill, and I've had 400 years to practice! I was cursed to live as the only man standing between you and the fate Hirub cast upon your kin, and yet you dare force my hand as my power grows too weak to protect you! Thank your luck the moon was not watching tonight, or else we'd both be lying in a pool of your blood!
My blood?
What's any of that supposed to mean? I don't understand!
You only need to understand this, Insolent child. I will not train you! Not today, not in 1,000 years! If there's a barhand fated to watch a new sunrise over Basaxarat, it won't be you! Not while I live!
I don't care what you, or the gods, or anyone wants. I will become Jasif, one way or another.
You can't become Jasif! Don't you feel the flames burning inside you? You were Jasif 1,000 years before you were born! The sun will scorch this land till the moon says the opposite.
A shiver went down the merchant's spine, shaking him from his beard to his bald tail. He stood still for a moment, looking in Sep's direction.
So that's how it is, huh? To think I'd seal my own fate over a stupid fawn's tantrum.
Who are you talking to?
That doesn't matter. I've said far too much. It's dusk now. You're feeling very tired. Go back home and wake up in your own bed, far from plots and divine missions. Live a life led by your own choices, daughter of Thor.
Yes, sir.
And you there, pray that I don't find who you are.
God's not a living. What in the name of oblivion was that just now? Ain't no way the Patriot would know I'm watching this, right, Sep? Right? Sep? Never mind. I'm getting the hay out of here.
That was spooky. Okay, so this isn't going anywhere. But that was interesting, though. I am Joseph. Let's see this one in the kind of midst of all of these ones that we've already seen here. And then after we've watched this one, we'll end the episode and continue down the list in the next one. I don't think there was anything else for us to see here. Dear Diary, I looked into you, hoping to see something about last night. I thought that I would have at least spared a few moments to write a line about what happened or what I hoped to achieve visiting the merchant. Now I feel like someone else had come up with the plan or whatever that was for me. I read back at the last few weeks and see how angry I was, but I feel like all of it happened to someone else. There is nothing left now. There is no one left now. There is me, I guess. Ah, do we get more options here now? Oh, no. Just this. Okay. So, I'm ending this episode here, and I guess we'll go into horns in the next one. For now, thank you so much for watching and spending a little of your time with me here today. We learned some interesting things. Please remember to be kind to yourself. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you again next time.